Well, we are gonna look at this tacos. I'm gonna do tacos for a week. Low carb wraps and tacos for a week. Cook this in the pressure cooker today. I used the rest of my homemade taco seasoning, and then I took some of the kind of dirty keto store bought taco seasoning in there to kind of spice it up a little bit. Uh, so that's where we're at with this. Slow cook it a little bit. I want to slow cook it a little bit longer. Must be unplugged a little bit. Popped the little breaker thing. So put it on slow cook, and then we'll back it down to, I want to put it on here for about another 2 hours. Start, and then I'm going to let it slow simmer. Yeah, buddy. Ah, get down there. So this is a Zen Chef. They also have other models just like it, but it's all steel. Um, and this literally cost me $50 on Amazon. So that's why I never really got into the Instapot stuff, because I found other products that were just as good, that weren't all flashy and name brand, and twice the size of the cheapest model for half the amount of money. So I was like, screw that. I don't need to go buy an Instapot just because it's name brand. I'm going to buy this. It makes more sense. It's more economical. It worked. Now, a couple things I want to talk to you guys about. One thing I did not list in my title, because I didn't want it to be in my title. I wanted the people that actually took the time to watch to find out first before anybody else does. I did start dating somebody. Her name is Angie, and we have been seeing each other for about, I want to say, since almost the amount of time that I've been going through this whole struggling thing since I moved up here. Me and her have been dating. Whenever she's around me, she eats like me. She doesn't force me to do anything I'm not comfortable with. She doesn't make me change anything about the way I eat. Like if I cook here, she just eats the keto stuff or low carb or carnivore stuff that I eat. And she's very fair to me. She treats me very well. She laughs. She gets my kind of dry humor, and she doesn't judge me. I'm very kind to her, always holding her hand, always telling her, reassuring her that she's a beautiful woman and that she doesn't have to prove anything to anybody, and that she's worth it to me, and that I don't speak bad of her. I don't let anybody else speak bad of her. I hold the door for her. I court her. I court her like a man should court a woman, and that's completely lost in today's society. That's gone. And I treat her exactly like, and one of these days I'll bring her on here so you guys can maybe hear from her herself. I treat her like a woman. I respect her 100%, and that's what she'll get from me. So I just wanted to tell you guys first, before you found out from some ignorant post or something on Facebook, whatever it may be. And it's been going pretty good. I mean, I don't cue her in on my financial issues and stuff like that. I keep that out of it. That's my own problem. That's stuff that I'm gonna have to deal with on my own. And it's very fair. It's a very fair situation. We go to the movies. I pay one time, and then we go to the movies. She pays another time. we go out to a small dinner, I pay one time. We go out, and she pays another time. And her car is more fuel efficient than me, so I make a mental note that we're driving her car more than we am my um, than my gas guzzling truck. So I make sure that when we go out, um, I try to keep in mind to offset that stuff, to where we're putting more wear and tear on her vehicle and using more of her fuel. So I want to pay for the more expensive meals and things like that than her, because it's only fair. And we just kind of balance each other out that way. She's wanting to work on her health as well. She's been walking more, trying to lose weight and stuff like that. And she eats just like me whenever she's around me. And then she even makes a conscious decision whenever she's not around me to at least eat healthier and not eat so much sugar and sweets and things like that. Um, so it's a good situation. It's a good fit overall. And so you guys know that I've been kind of getting a little rowdy lately with calling people out. Not necessarily calling people out, but telling the truth about things. You guys know how I am now. And when I gain some subscribers from other people's channels, sometimes they don't like what I have to say, because they come to my channel thinking that I support somebody that they support 100%, and that's not the case. I made a post the other day about names that, I've seen people call me on here, and because I spoke openly about how I feel about certain people in the carnivore keto community, and how just because you like them doesn't mean that I have to like them. I had about 10 people actually unsubscribe, but in the ironic part about all this is because I spoke openly about that, in my opinion, is obviously not worth their groupie business by supporting the people that they support, because they're obviously brainwashed by these people to where that you can't have your own opinion on them, or else they don't want to subscribe to you. 7 people subscribed in place of the 10 that left. So I guess there are people out there that really do appreciate my honesty. No matter, I'm not doing this to be in anybody's groupie friend club. I'm not doing this to support any doctor. I'm doing this to show you guys how I do things and what I learn along the way. I don't support anybody when it comes down to it. There are certain people I like, and there are certain people I like putting out information, but I'm never going to be a certain fan to a certain club, whether it be Dr. Jason Fung or Dr. Barry or Berg or any of them. I'm not on that groupie train. They didn't save my life. I was already doing this stuff before they came along. I was already saving my own life based on information that I learned from Dr. Robert Adkins and Dr. Eric Westman. So that fan club I'm not a part of, because I already had the knowledge base before they came along. So that's why I can call out a lot of BS and a lot of people that try to put on a front and lay claim to being the creator or the information, studier of keto, when that's not the case at all. A lot of these doctors that you guys put your emphasis in, don't get me wrong, it's great that they're doing what they're doing, but they didn't learn that information on their own. They learned that from doctors before them, that learned that from doctors before them. So some of you kind of got to wake up and realize that you're putting a lot of emphasis in people that didn't even come up with the information on their own. It's people like Dr. Robert Adkins and Dr. Eric Westman and Jeff Volek and Stephen Feeney, and then even people before them that came up with that information. That's the reason why they have the information that they have today. So when you hear me talk about my opinion and why I don't like somebody or why somebody bothers me, that's my opinion. That's no reason to chastise me or criticize me over it. That's just what I believe and what I see in my life and how things affect me. So I've gotten a few ignorant comments lately from people that want to critique me or make me feel bad about the way I feel about certain people. The other day I had a subscriber on here that was talking to me, and I had said, I don't really care for Frank Trofano. I don't care if you guys like him or not. I don't like him. I don't like him because of his attitude. I don't like him because of the way he comes across. I don't like him because of the way he attacks other doctors that he claims stole his information, when he clearly got that information from somebody else that studied it, so it was never his information to begin with. And somebody popped up on the group chat and said, "Yeah, I agree with you. He's a narcissist. He is. He wants to lay claim to the vegan or the carnivore information that's put out, and it's not even his to lay claim to." And I agree. He wants people to believe the whole world revolves around him and that his information is Bible and it's gold and it needs to be written in a book where people can see for thousands of years. That's not even the case at all. It's just a young guy trying to make a name for himself, and he's definitely doing that. So I see it. It's game recognized game. I got it. But I don't have to like him in the process of doing that, just like I don't like other people. I like people that speak their mind, that will put you in your place, that will call you out and say, no, prove me wrong. That's the kind of people that I like. That's the kind of people that I get along with. Dr. Sean Baker, he does not care about your feelings at all. He's going to tell you exactly what he thinks. David Goggins, the man is made of steel. He's been through a lot of the same childhood tragedies and stuff that I've been through. He's been through a lot of the same tragedies, if not even more in the military and all this other stuff. Well, substantially more in the military. So I look up to him. The guy is as real as it gets. If you want a damn change in the world, you got to make a change in the world. You can't look for somebody else to do it for you. If you're constantly looking for other people to do things for you, you're never going to get anywhere. You're going to be looking, because don't nobody, in the grand scheme of things, when it comes down to it, care about you like you care about yourself. That's why I like David Goggins, because the man is real. He does not care about your feelings. He does not want to stroke your ego. He does not want to make you feel good. He wants to tell you the truth. Those are the people that I align with. I'm actually starting to like the snake diet guy, even though I think he's a complete jerk and asshole. I'm starting to like him more and more, because he does not care about your feelings. He tells you exactly what he thinks, regardless if it's right or wrong, and you don't have to guess about where his mindset is. He's telling you what it is. And if you don't like it, you can go find somebody else. And that's his motto. I'm going to give you the good information. You can either use it or not use it. So that's what I do as well. I'm going to be me on my channel, and you can either use it or not use it. I spoke about my opinion on abortion or whatever, and it was just briefly that I did it, but somebody still had the nerve to leave a comment saying that until I have a uterus, I don't need to be speaking about abortion. Well, that's wrong. First of all, if you follow religion, you can go back hundreds and thousands of years and see that men and women were both concerned about that type of thing, regardless if you had a uterus or not. It was something that was talked about. In politics, it's always something that's talked about. Your mother and your father talked to you about it growing up. You talked to your kids about it growing up. So if that was the case, everybody should just go ahead and rewind time all the way back to the beginning before a man ever talked about a uterus, and then we should just go ahead and reset time right there and start all over again and see what happens. It doesn't work that way. Life's not going to stop and just play out the exact way that you want it to happen. Unfortunately, you're at the shit end of the stick there, and it doesn't change for you or anybody else. People are going to say and do what they want to do at the end of the day, and there's nothing that can change that from happening. Not you, not me, not anybody. So when I want to say something or talk about something, that's what I'm going to do. I'm at the forefront of where I'm starting to wake up and get that aha moment on my channel, to where I'm not doing things for other people anymore. I'm doing things for me, and I want you guys to see what I go through so you can learn from me. Maybe not even learn from me, maybe help me. Maybe I haven't learned something, but at the same time, you cannot expect me to stop doing what I'm doing to suit your needs. It's not going to happen. So these are the big things that are going on right now. I went ahead and gave my 2 weeks notice at my last job. Friday when I went into work, I said, look, there's another company that offered me a lot more money. There's another company that came along and said, we're going to give you, $6, over $7 an hour minimum starting pay. And then at 45 hours, it increases to 41, and 50, it increases to 47 or something. And then over 50, it goes to $50 or whatever it is. And I said, it's just too good for me to pass up right now. And I haven't established that much time in this company, so I want to give it a shot. I want to take it. And my foreman at night, the supervisor, said, if I was you, I would take it, because this is not going anywhere here right now. This not going to change here. I mean, you're basically 40 hours a week you can count on that forever for sure. But rarely do we get anything more than that. So you're always going to be collecting the same paycheck every single week, never advancing, probably not going to school very much at all. If not once every 3 or 4 years, you're not going to get anywhere here. But if you go to a place like that Ford dealership that wants to put you to school, so you have to keep up on that continuing education because there are so many new vehicles and technology coming out when it comes to like automotive stuff, you're going to be better off there. You're going to learn more there, and you're going to have a better opportunity there than working at a big giant truck dealership. You're just going to be working on heavy stuff for the rest of your life, collecting 40 hours, barely getting overtime, and it's going to be a secure 40-hour paycheck, and that's it. That's all it's ever going to be. I don't like that. I want to push myself to learn more and get more education and make more, and it's just, that's just how I did things, so, or how I want to do things. So and they called around a little bit, and I noticed that they weren't having me do very much by Friday night. And I said, look, I'm just standing around here not doing anything. I mean, my trucks are fixed, they're done, they're out the door, so what do you guys want me to do? I mean, I just put in my 2-week notice. Are you sure you want me to be here for 2 more weeks? The boss didn't hear about me quitting yet because he was in a meeting, and then he went straight home. So they got a hold of him, and they said, yeah, you know what, at least he's being honest with you guys. It wouldn't make much sense for him to put him on the computer and then have him do a bunch of company training and stuff. He's just going to leave in 2 weeks anyway, so we're just paying him to leave. And they said, just tell him to go ahead and go. You know, no hard feelings. He didn't burn any bridges. If he wants to come back here and the other place doesn't work out, he's always welcome back. They liked me there, and they said, good luck. Have a great life. Hope you make it. If not, come back. You got a job. So it ended well. It didn't end badly. And now I have the next. I was actually off yesterday. What was I? What was it? Yeah, yesterday I was off, and then I'll be off until Tuesday, until after Memorial Day, and I'll start the new job on Tuesday. So, fingers crossed. I hope everything goes through. And the keto supplement thing that I wanted to talk about was I've been looking into a lot of stuff popping up on Facebook and on Instagram, and there's a doctor that keeps popping up. She's a white female young doctor. She looks like she's about 27, 28 years old in her picture, and she's holding something, and she's got a smile on her face, and it says, consult Dr. So-and-so for your keto information. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, let me look through here and see who's consulted this doctor before. And I'm reading through the comment section, and every single person in the comment section was saying, scam, scam, scam. We've already done this. We've already messaged. They're trying to sell you keto pills and supplements and meal plans and everything else. This doctor is not answering your questions. This is just a fake scam post. Guys, you don't even know who these keto doctors are, that are these companies that are claiming that they have keto doctors. And for the longest time, there were people on YouTube that would do voiceovers and call themselves a keto doctor, but you would never get to see their face. And there was one channel that was up to like 120,000 subscribers or something like that within like an 8-month period, because he had a very appealing voice, and he called himself Keto Doctor So-and-so. And then all of a sudden the dude disappeared. Was never here anymore. People weren't asking questions or anything. Dr. Amir Rashad or something like that. He was. And then there's this, who is the one that Bart K was having a debate with, Dr. Ricky or something like that. They were questioning whether or not he was real. He was actually a doctor, because he'd been on podcasts, but you never get to see his face and stuff like that. Guys, you got to be careful with who you put your faith in your belief in. And I hate to do this, and I hate to be this way lately, but I don't really trust any of these keto doctors. I don't trust any of these doctors at all, because you know exactly where they came from. They came from the standard American practice. So they already had that time in following that junk way of doing things. And they've already been trained to do things a certain way to keep people engaged. But now that they've learned how this restricting carbohydrates from people's diets can all of a sudden make them lose all this weight, and then if their patients follow what they say by restricting all these carbohydrates, then all of a sudden they get thought of as this guru, because all of a sudden their life changed. And then now they become this ultimate knowing power. I mean, I could go create a 7 to 10 minute video on metformin and Xanapin or whatever it is, and act like I know exactly what's going on, and call myself Dr. Paso, and come on here for the next year in a completely different channel, and people would actually start believing I was some kind of doctor. I'm really starting to get tired of seeing all these ads and posts and stuff pop up, and then people say, well, go talk to Dr. So-and-so, go talk to Dr. this and that, go on this doctor's page. Why? There's a YouTuber that had that video out 2 years before they did that's not even really known, but because they didn't have MD or doctor in front of their name, they're not getting any notoriety. But that person has already had that information out years ago. And because they're not a doctor means they're not relevant. I mean, I just don't get it. And that's a lot of these ways, just like Frank got mad at Dr. Paul for using some of the wording that he used in his videos. And it seemed like he copied his videos verbatim, exactly what he was saying. You know, if we look at that in the grand scheme of things, that's exactly what Frank was talking about. He's mad that Dr. Paul Saladino used the same wording that he used in his videos, and it seemed like he copied them. But then turned around and came out with his own videos and got more views than Frank did because he's Dr. Paul Saladino. So it's kind of like, you know, people stealing each other's information. And not that it bothers me. I think it's almost comical because neither one of them came up with that information. It was studied from somebody else. So who cares who uses it? What I'm trying to get at is there's a lot of people laying claim to having this ultimate knowledge and knowing power when they're not even the ones that studied this stuff. They're not even the ones that came up with this stuff. So I start questioning where this information comes from. And then, you know, the keto chow stuff has been blowing up lately. I've been hearing a lot of people talk about keto chow meal replacement. And I posted a thing on my group or on my personal page today. It says, can somebody tell me what's the difference between keto chow and isopure? You're taking a lean protein that has almost the same exact ingredients, but just different flavoring, and you're adding your own fat source to it, and you're calling it a meal replacement. Well, there are meal replacements out there that you don't have to add fat to that's already in there. What is so different about keto chow than isopure? Isopure has been on the market years longer than them, with way more science and technology put into their product and how to make their product better. It's got almost the same ingredients, just different flavoring. Isopure is more generic, vanilla, chocolate, coffee, you know, peanut butter kind of deal or something like that, to where keto chow, they want flavorings of ice creams and mocha this and that and everything else to make people want to buy their product. But when I look at the pricing for a 2 to 3 pound bag or something like that, it's $70. I've heard people say $72 it cost me, or $70 or something, when I can go get a 3-pound tub of isopure that has the same exact ingredients in it, pretty much. I mean, not exactly, but pretty much. And it may be just a couple percent off on the additives, like, you know, calcium wise, it was 70% per serving in isopure, and it was 73% per serving in keto chow. So they're almost identical when it comes down to a certain part breakdown. And I'm thinking, why would I pay an extra $30, $35 for this product when I can get this product for $38 to $45? It's the exact same thing. It's a lean protein shake without all the junk and stuff in it, and then I can add my own fat to it and drink it the same exact way. It just doesn't have this caramel flavored ice cream flavor that you could flavor yourself at home and save yourself the money. I don't get it though. I don't get why people aren't trying to be hip to the click with all this stuff and trying to stay on top of it. So I posted that on my personal group, and Dave Feldman's co-creator of the Lean Mass Hyper Responder group, I think her name's Sibian Higgins or something. I'm not saying her name right, I know, but she's a friend of mine on my personal group, and she saw me post about keto chow, so she actually tagged the creator of keto chow, Chris. I think his name's Chris, so he could see my posting. And then I actually posted the isopure ingredients and then their ingredients. And then I posted, you know, underneath, hey, I've dug into this already, and I actually called a supplement company in New York where I looked into having an MCT oil-based protein or a meal replacement that people didn't have to add fat to, good quality organic grass-fed whey, no emulsifiers, no garbage, no nothing, your standard chocolate, vanilla, strawberry, peanut butter kind of deal. And then starting there to see it's a naked product that's completely disclosed to the public, has the perfect balanced keto macro ratios. Everything on it is, you could go find where it's made, how it's made, a video on how it's made, the whole 9 yards. And it would only cost me $3,500 for 150 containers, and that's between $21 for organic grass-fed sources, or $18 for just your standard sources, but still a good quality product. And then turn around and sell it for $40 a 2 to 3 pound container instead of $70 to $75, if not all close to $100 for some of the bigger containers, and make almost no money off of it. Or take all that extra money and put it into a fund for veterans or for women with cancer, or some kind of a medical study, and not make any money off of it at all, just to prove that a product can be made substantially less than what you're selling it to the consumer for, and you're not price gouging and taking their money. And it's this pure pressure of people posting and talking about it online in general, and then other people think, well, yeah, I'm on the go all the time, maybe I could buy that meal replacement, and then that makes an excuse for me not to have to make myself a meal before I go to work, or before I go pick up the kids from baseball practice or something like that, or drop them off. Now you're almost making an excuse because you see all your friends and stuff on Facebook doing it, when you could simply just boil yourself some eggs, some bacon, some cheddar cheese, whatever, and take it with you in a little sandwich bag and go, and you're getting real food. But instead, we want to make this excuse for the supplement replacement. And I get the fact that it can be used and there's probably a time and place for it, but you're talking about almost twice the amount for a product because it's Keto Chow, versus half the amount, a little bit more than half the amount, Isopure, a company that's been out a lot longer, that uses already clean products, that has almost the same thing in it, just different flavorings, but people still will make it seem like this whole Keto Chow thing is different, and I don't understand how it's different. I don't get it. I do not get it. And that's what I talked about. I'm waiting for this guy to respond that owns the company to see exactly what he says, and then I'll update you guys. I honestly want to know how it's different. Why are you charging people $70 to $75 a bag, if not more, depending on the situation or what's on sale? What's so different about this product versus Isopure? I really want to know. I don't know. I don't see the difference. So, I don't know. I thought about even doing a review where I ordered a bag of Keto Chow, just regular vanilla, and then Isopure, a container of just regular vanilla, and then showing you guys what the difference is, instead of asking somebody else, showing that, like, tastes the same, the macros are almost the same, there's not really much difference between the two. Save yourself the $30 and buy the Isopure. Or, you know what? The Keto Chow is substantially better. The flavor is substantially better. It mixes better. It's just the way the product is made that makes it better. So I could see why people are paying the extra money for the Keto Chow. But I want to hear back from this guy. I want to hear what this guy has to say, because I'm dumbfounded on why something costs so much more than a product that already has a huge name out there, and the breakdown is almost the same. It boggles my mind. If you guys have anything to say on this matter, if you want to give me your opinion or your ideas on the supplementation, why Keto Chow is better or why it's not better, I'm always willing to hear what people have to say. But remember, in the process of you critiquing, giving opinions and stuff like that, remember to come across as respectful, because I'm probably somebody that you don't want to get nasty with, because I'm going to respond in probably a negative way. I don't mind having a conversation with people that don't agree with me, but let's do it in an adult manner. Don't come at me with something and then tell me, oh, don't do this because you don't have a uterus, you're not going to do this. No, that doesn't matter to me. Now you're going to want to make me talk about it even more and tell you that it's silly to do this and that and everything else. So let's just be respectful here, because I'm not going to respond to ignorance very well, or I just end up blocking people from the channel so other people don't have to deal with ignorance. And that's just what it is. That's kind of the update right now. The whole job thing, the whole supplement thing, the fact that I'm seeing a lovely lady now that is exactly that. She's a very lovely lady. She's a very fair, patient, funny, laughs at what I have to say. We have a great time together, and it's a good thing. I wanted to make sure that I sealed the deal that we were actually dating first before I said anything to you guys, because I didn't want to be some fluke that talked about her and then, a week into us going on one date, I'm all of a sudden saying, oh, I'm dating somebody. No, it's not that way. I've been dating her for about 6 weeks now, and we went on many, many dates. And last night I finally just made it official and just came right out and said, could I actually call you my girlfriend? Would you date me? will you be my girlfriend? And she said, oh, that's nice. Nobody's ever actually asked me that. They just assumed. No, I said, and I told her, I said, no, I want you to be my girlfriend, if you will, please. And she said, absolutely. And she got a little tear in her eye and stuff like that. And I said, I think it's important for me to establish that I don't want to talk to anybody else. I don't want to look at anybody else. I just want it to be you, and I'm secure around you. I feel good around you, and you don't make me feel bad, and you make me happy. And she said the same thing about me. So we just made it official last night, and I thought maybe I would say something today instead of it being like, oh my God, you've been dating this girl for 6 months, and because you guys have never seen me with anybody. You've never really seen me date anybody. Uh, it was probably years ago the last time anybody seen me with anybody. So anyhow, that's the update, and I look forward to getting better from here and becoming a better person, for her and for us in general. Maybe you guys can meet her soon if she feels comfortable, and then we'll go from there. She's a really nice lady. I can't wait for you guys to get to say hi to her, because I've considered some of you my family, or all of you that subscribe to me, my family, especially the ones that don't judge me and like me for who I am. And hopefully she'll come on here soon. Okay, I hope you guys have a great Saturday. Happy Memorial Day weekend. Remember what it's about. It's not about you. It's about those that have given what they've given for us to continue to have what we have. And just out of respect for that, just maybe toss one back for them, have a drink for them and say, or have a meal for them, whatever it is, and just feel blessed for what's been given to you, and what you have to appreciate, and what you continue to do and give for other people. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Have a blessed day.